welcome back. So today I wanted to talk all about making babies from your alocasias. So I brought over some of my favorite alocasias to show you guys how I've made some babies from them. So this one is one of my favorites, if not my absolute favorite. This is my Alocasia Frydek. The leaves are huge, they're velvet, the veining is so cool. I love this plant so much, which is why I'm so glad it keeps giving me babies. So I'll show you a couple different methods that I've used to grow new baby Alocasia Frydeks. So number one, if you have ever repotted your Alocasia and one of these has fallen out of the dirt, that is an Alocasia bulb, and you can grow a whole new plant from this. So whenever you find one of these, just pop it into some moist sphagnum, bundle it up so that it stays moist in there, and let it grow. This thick part down here is the bottom where it'll root from, and this little pointy part up top is where the new leaf will come from. So I've done this a number of times with different Alocasia. I'll show you. This little guy is an Alocasia Frydek from this beautiful mama. So very, very tiny, so cute. But there you can see the bulb. I had just popped it into here. I had put some saran wrap that I poked a few holes in over this pot of the moist sphagnum moss and just let it grow. And this is what I've got. It's so cute. So when you start them from bulbs, they do start really small, but there you go. Brand new Frydek plant. So there is way number one. And I have done this with a number of different bulbs. I'll show you two more. So this guy is a baby Alocasia amazonica. He was also grown from a bulb. So you can see quite a small little baby plant. He's already putting out a second new leaf. This one over here is mom. And I'm so proud of this one. This first leaf grew in like so perfect. It's stunning. So that's the second guy. Now the third one is this cute little Alocasia silver dragon. So this was an import. Usually importing Alocasia, the leaves never survive, maybe like 1 in 20, honestly. And even then, they're gonna go eventually. They don't look good. But this little guy, he was a bulb. And now here he is with his first new little leaf. Very cute. So that is method number one, the bulb method. Now, method number two, I'll show you on this Frydek. You can see this little baby growth coming in off of the stem, and you can see it's already got this little leaf still all rolled up. You can separate this off of the mom. So I'm gonna let this leaf come out first, and then I will dump this pot, pop this little baby off of the stem gently. It'll already have roots going on its own, and I'll just be able to repot it into its own little pot. So I'll show you one that I did using that method. A couple of months ago, I popped this little baby Frydek off of the mom. And it was only one leaf when I did it, and now we have 4 nice little leaves. So it's a little more established when you let it grow on mom for a bit than when you do it by bulb. You can see quite a difference. So still small little baby plant, doing great. That is method number two. Method number three for making these babies. Now, when you get a fairly large established Alocasia, the actual stump of it, and I'll show you what an Alocasia stump looks like. Here's a smaller one, but the actual stump of it will be large. Like sometimes you'll get them like super big, super thick, and you can actually cut these stumps in half, in thirds, depending on how big they are, and new babies will grow off of those stumps. So I'll show you what that looks like. This here was a stump that I split, and you can see on a bulb growing off the side, we have a new baby Alocasia dragon scale. So again, just a small baby, but off of a huge mother plant that I definitely didn't need to be like 6 or 7 inches of stump. It just makes them a little hard to plant then when they're that deep. So there's a cute little baby, and I can either just leave it on here and let it grow, and it'll probably grow a couple other babies, or I can actually separate it off because it has its own little roots going down that main stem. I'll probably leave it just to give it as much strength from this mother stem as possible. Now, like I had just showed you that stump, so this is a living, healthy alocasia. This is why if your alocasia drops leaves, don't throw it out. Alocasias can take a beating. They can lose all their roots, they can lose all their leaves, and they will still be a healthy, viable plant. So whenever I totally lose all the leaves on an alocasia, or I have no roots because they're an import, I take this little stump and I pop it in moist sphagnum just to let it reroot, grow a little bit. So I'll show you, this guy came to me totally naked. He had no roots and no new growth. And now, see right here, this little tiny green dot, he is putting out his first new growth and he's rerooted. So he's doing fantastic now. But this is the reason why you don't throw out your alocasia that have died back. Because if you haven't totally aced their care yet, sometimes you'll lose all the leaves over the winter. This is why it doesn't matter if you do, they'll be fine. You can regrow it. Okay, well now that we've got how to make babies out of the way, let's go over some of my favorite alocasias that I have. These aren't all of my alocasias, but these are some of my favorite ones. So, like I had mentioned, this guy is my Alocasia Friedeck, one of my favorite plants in the whole house. I don't have a favorite, but this is definitely one of my favorites. They have beautiful velvet foliage, really, really distinctive, beautiful veining. A gorgeous plant. I recommend them. They're so pretty. So again, an Alocasia Friedeck. This guy over here is an Alocasia Ivory Coast. Again, you don't really find them too often. I stumbled upon one locally this year. They've got really cute pink stems, really nice arrowhead foliage. I just really like the looks of it. They're thick, they're full. I really like this guy. So Alocasia Ivory Coast. This one here, most people have one, have killed one, have seen them at their local greenhouse or plant shop. It's an Alocasia Amazonica. I have a number of these around. I love how they look, kind of like prehistoric almost. The back of the leaves is like dark purple. They're really, really shiny. They don't really look like they belong anywhere. I like them. They're cool. They're very unique. And this guy up here is my Alocasia Regal Shields. And I love this. Again, it's got beautiful velvet foliage. It's got such a nice dark color. It's all kind of more one color, but it looks so pretty against other plants because of how dark the foliage is. And they get huge. Mine isn't even that big. So Regal Shields is a really cool piece to add to your collection. And now into my three more difficult to find alocasias that I keep in my greenhouses. I have an Alocasia Maharani, and I love these guys. They are like thick foliage, really stiff. They're like an elephant. Like, they are so cool. So just to show you kind of the color contrast, they're very silvery. They're really cool. Like, honestly, like an elephant. I love these guys. And again, another cool color. This one is an Alocasia Dragon Scale. Really, really pretty. You can see how dark the veining is compared to this really bright green foliage. So cool. Again, looks so prehistoric, so pretty. And very similar is the Alocasia Silver Dragon that I showed you earlier. So you can see those contrasting colors. So pretty. The silver is super, super silvery. The dragon scale is much, much more green. Really cool plants. I find that they look their best in the greenhouse. I keep them at around 80% humidity, and it kind of gives them the best color. Like, they have such a beautiful pop of color. I find that if I put them into my normal humidity, they seem to almost kind of like haze over. They don't look this stunning. It's a greenhouse that makes them have so much of a pop of color. So I will end this video here. I hope that this was helpful and that maybe you learned something, or maybe this is something that you already do yourself. I love making more plants from my plants because who doesn't want more plants? I know that I have a Friedeck, but I'd love to have 4 Friedecks. Or you can grow Friedecks for your friends. So Hopefully you guys can relate. If you like this kind of content, definitely subscribe to my channel down below. You can follow me on Instagram at Planterior Decorator. Definitely leave all your comments down below. I love reading your comments and responding to all you guys. And thank you guys again so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye, you guys.